Hi everyone. Today I wanted to share with you a way to cook 3 dishes at the same time in your Instant Pot. So here I have my pot and I've set it on the saute mode. As you can see, it's hot. So today we are going to cook 3 things. There's rice, so 1 cup of rice with a little bit of salt in it, lentils, and this is called masoor dal, and I also put salt in there, and this is whole masoor. And then I'm gonna cook some potatoes. So generally I do rice and lentils all the time with the rice setting, and that works out beautifully. So today I wanted to try out 3 things in here. So as you can see, my pot is hot and I'm going to start by putting some oil in there. So this is olive oil, and I also wanted to add a little bit of ghee or clarified butter to the dish because it enhances the taste. But if you're watching like your diet, you don't want to do it too much. So adding a little bit of ghee adds a lot of flavor. So we'll let that heat up, and then we're going to start by putting in asafoetida, or what's known as hing. So here's my spice box, and here's the hing, and I also have some crushed up green Thai chilies, green and red. So adding in the hing and let that sizzle a bit, followed by adding a half a teaspoon of mustard seeds, as well as another half a teaspoon of cumin seeds, and we'll let that splutter. As you can see, it's now spluttering. So once you have that, add the cumin seeds, and then just saute it a little bit and let these seeds release their essential oils. I also add a dry red chili in here. It's optional, but you can add that in. This is not a very spicy dish. It's supposed to be tangy, so I call this as Khatte Aloo, or sour potatoes, and that's what the primary taste is. Adding the little bit of Thai chili in here, very little, because I don't want it to be too spicy, and these chilies are very potent. Finally, dump in your potatoes that have been cubed, washed and cubed, and then just kind of sauteing it a little bit, just to kind of get everything mixed up together. And that's it. I just then want to add a little bit of water in there, some salt, just about a half a cup of water, not more, just enough for the potatoes to cook. And that's it. So mix everything together, make sure all the pieces are lying flat on one level, and then I'm going to put in the insert or the stand for the Instant Pot, and then put in my lentils at the bottom because they get cooked better at the bottom, and then at the top I have the rice. So all I'm going to do is cover it up, as you can see, and then I'm turned off the saute mode obviously because you cannot cover the lid with that, and then turn on the rice setting, and by default it's at 10 minutes, so I will leave it at that, and that should cook all the 3 items perfectly. So while that is happening, you can see now about 30 minutes later, so I let it sit for about 15 minutes to release the pressure naturally, and let the last last few seconds of the pressure release. Now I'm opening it up, and there you can see you get the rice at top perfectly cooked, and I'm going to take that out, and you can see the next layer is our lentils, and that looks pretty much well cooked and mushy enough. And now you can see at the bottom where the stand is, you can see the potatoes. So let me tell you the next step. We want to just make sure that the potatoes are kind of mixed up enough with the water. So I'm just going to take my spatula here and just kind of test it out how they're cooked. As you can see, as I kind of poke it and break it, it breaks very easily, and that's how I want it to be. So I want to kind of break some of the bigger pieces down. It kind of mixes well with the or the water, that is. And then I'm going to add a couple of different spices to it. So generally you can use any ready spices like the kitchen king masala, or you can just concoct your own, make your own version with turmeric, red chili powder, and garam masala. But today what I'm going to do, I'm going to add a little bit of chole masala, so just barely like 1/4 teaspoon, and then half a teaspoon of tawa fry masala. So you can find any of these ready-made masalas in the Indian grocery stores. And then I'm just going to mix this around. And as you can see, I've turned the saute mode back on, so it's still cooking. And then finally I'm going to add juice of half a lemon in there, and that's what makes it sour, and that's why it's called Khatte Aloo. So that's it. I just want to leave it now, mix it up and leave it for a few minutes while I give my dal a tempering. So I want to get the tempering ready for the dal while this final kind of 3 to 4 minutes of cooking of the potatoes. So here I have a couple of more sabzis that I made in the time that the IP was cooking the 3 dishes. So you got your beans and aloo, and then I'd made palak matar. And now I have some ghee heating up in my little utensil. And all I'm going to do in there is, with a little bit of hing and some spice, I'm going to add garlic, ginger, and a little bit of onion in there. So as the oil has heated up, I just want to go back and check on my potatoes. So you will be able to see that the potatoes have started cooking, and some of the water has evaporated, and now it's that perfect consistency where you have a little thick gravy and the potatoes are nicely broken up. So that's it for the potato or Khatte Aloo, and I'm going to turn off the IP. Next up, I mushed up the lentils or the dal, and as you can see, it has enough water and it's perfectly liquidy. So adding the asofetida or hing into the ghee over here, as you can see, it's starting to sizzle up. And next, I just want to add again 1/4 teaspoon of mustard seeds and about half a teaspoon of cumin seeds in there, and let it splutter up. Once it's spluttering up enough, I will go ahead and add the ginger, garlic, and onion that you can see right next to the pot. So there it is, and let me just kind of add that in, mix it up and saute it for a little bit so that all the 3 things get soft enough to be added into the dal. So once that is done, I'm just going to take my little utensil and pour it, dump the ingredients into the lentils and dal, and then I'm going to just let the dal sit over the stove top and heat up a little bit with everything in there. So that's it. As you can see, the onions are starting to get soft, and so now it's time to put it into the lentil. And now you can see I mixed up everything. It's sitting on the stove top. I've turned off the stove because the residual heat from my cooktop is cooking the dal further. And that's it. So as you saw, I cooked up the 3 dishes in IP, and thank you so much for watching. Until next time.